My guest today ran a college that sent graduates to Maldives, Oman, and five-star hotels across India. She has a PhD in hospitality education as well. And recently, she started calling herself completely something else, a life coach. I wanted to see what that transformation looks right on the inside. My name is Dr. Samir Gade. I operate on ice for a living. I specialize in cataract and glaucoma. And on Sundays, I turn into a podcast host. Keep watching and thanks for sharing. Welcome to the podcast, ma'am. Thank you for taking your time.
Thank you sir, for calling me.
For the people who are watching this and the few who don't know who you are, kindly introduce yourself.
I am Dr. Urvashi Yashroy
Yes.
and I've been in Nagpur for 35 years.
Right.
I worked for almost 3 decades for Tuli College of Hotel Management as the head of the institution. And now I've diversified into being an coach, life coach under Aligned Living. That's my company. And I also work with Corridor 7 as their head people and culture, trying to train and help people who are being recruited there.
I want to add on something. A lot of people don't know about hospitality industry. You train people to manage
People.
their emotions. आपके जो बच्चे आप train करते हैं, you train them to manage their emotions, when other people's emotions can go up and down.
Yes.
So
yes.
this is a very important skill that you teach.
Correct.
And I think this is the core of hospitality industry.
True.
And you have done this for the past 25, 30 odd years. You have
Yes.
placed students almost everywhere.
Yes.
And then you suddenly decided to change the lens onto yourself.
Yes.
So before we start, let's start from the beginning. कि आप hospitality industry में आए कहाँ से?
So actually, I had done my hotel management.
Right.
But in our times, we were not allowed to work in hotels and all. So I didn't work. Got married, came to Nagpur, and there was this institution, government institution, that was coming up, and they wanted faculty. So they asked me to pitch in, and I started. Then I started going as a visiting faculty to Tuli College also.
जी.
And then gradually a full-time job came over and I took over. I was initially their administrative officer, the faculty, and then grew to a director.
So Nagpur is not your hometown?
Nagpur is not my
Born and
hometown.
brought up where?
In Amritsar.
Oh. Then when did you make this shift to Nagpur?
I got married in 91 and that's how I came to Nagpur.
So how was the hospitality sector in Nagpur then when you came during 1991?
That was not really something to be talked of during that time. We hardly had any good hotels or anything. Centrepoint was just starting that time. So now it has developed
Right.
well. Yes.
Again, so you joined Tuli College as a faculty.
Yes.
And then you left as one of the directors.
Yes.
What growth have you seen of that college over so many years?
I've not seen, I've created.
You've created. That's such a nice way to put it.
Because when I started going, it was just a 2-room institution.
Ji.
It's just started. And I was the one who was, after getting the infrastructure designed and putting the equipment into the institution, again recruiting the faculty, doing a lot of other things to bring the college up. And I created the whole college the way I could visualize it.
Right.
So it was my baby.
You know what? I want to ask you about this. Building a hospitality institution in a city like Nagpur, as compared to what we have in metros today, it must have been a very difficult thing for you.
Certainly.
Tell me about that journey अच्छे से.
So, Nagpur and surrounding, we used to get a lot of people from surrounding towns.
Right.
But people were not aware what hospitality is. So parents would come and ask me, "पर्चा करेगा क्या? बर्तन धोएगा? सफाई करेगा?" So I had to tell them it is much more than बर्तन धोना and सफाई करना. So to counseling, educating, to bringing them to understand what hospitality will be and what they should expect once the course is complete, and where they could be placed. So explaining and counseling was the most challenging part, because not very high strata people come to hotel management colleges. So it is a mid-level kind of group that comes. So their awareness levels are pretty low. So to create that awareness was a challenge.
But you know, even when I was growing up, I had this thing कि hotel management में जो बच्चे जाते हैं, कुछ भी नहीं करने को मिला तो they are doing this, and you will either end up being probably waiting tables or the head of whatever, some in the hotel.
Yes, yes.
But when I saw my friends choosing this deliberately,
Yes.
one of my friends is a sous chef at a very good
Oh, wow.
chain of restaurants in Miami. One of my friends is a bartender at Dubai's very prestigious hotel chains.
Okay.
And they went at this deliberately.
Yes.
And I look at a few of my patients now, they are going into culinary school and all these
Yes.
things. You know, this is becoming fashionable right now.
Rather, it's becoming lucrative.
Yeah.
It has a lot of money.
Right.
That's what people go after.
Right. So this perception जो change हुआ है over the years, did you help create that perception in Nagpur कि वो हो गया?
Probably we institutions have been instrumental in helping create that perception. Educating them was one aspect that actually made people change their view about the whole
Right.
thing.
So if you want to break, is there still a taboo about hospitality industry?
Not
अभी
anymore.
कुछ नहीं
Not
है.
anymore.
ठीक है. So what is the usual teaching process like in a college?
It's like any college. 50% theory, 50% practical. Practicals are done in the labs that are equipped to handle all kinds of practicals, like whatever goes on in the industry. Basically, a good hotel management college should look like a replica of a hotel.
Really?
So,
True.
so that students get the entire exposure. Theory is all about marketing also, finances also, because we are preparing managers, so they have to have the insight about how the product has to be marketed, how the finances have to be managed, how the human resource has to be managed. So we teach them everything, not just cooking and cleaning, but we teach them everything.
So how many years of course is it now?
It's a 3-year degree also, and it's a 4-year degree also.
Right.
Unfortunately, hospitality is not being a very organized sector in India. That is why there is no consistency in the education. There are a lot of diplomas, 6 months, 1 year. So since there is no specific qualification that they would want, they take everybody.
So is there no governing body कि ये curriculum में
There
हो
are
जाएगा?
plenty. There
Okay.
are plenty. The curriculums are designed by the university. There are plenty. But that, as I said, it's not an organized sector. So that is where we are lacking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after doing 3 or 4 years of course,
Yeah.
how does the student come out? क्या position में role मिलता है फिर?
They become as guest relation officers, or they come as housekeeping supervisors, or they join as commis in the hotels for kitchen. So that's how they get.
Is there a postgraduate program?
Yes, there is.
What are those?
There is one post-graduation diploma in culinary arts, if somebody wants to pursue culinary. And then there is a MSc in hospitality management. So that can also be done.
Right. I was reading about your reviews, and one of your students had quoted that you literally break your students during their teaching periods so that you make them face the worst, because the real life is literally like that.
Yes.
What is your philosophy uska?
So, as I just told you, that we get students from middle strata group. They are not even aware of the basic luxuries that a human being enjoys. So we have to actually first teach them that these are the luxuries available, and this is how you have to use them, and you have to maintain them. So we start from there. Once they get used to that, since we are in hospitality industry, we have to continuously shape them to become a personality that would attract people. Because what I feel is we are creating experiences every minute when we are interacting with the guest.
True.
So if your personality is such, you will create good experiences. If your personality is not equipped to handle those situations, you will always be creating bad experiences and losing your customers.
Is language a barrier? I mean, some students may not
Yes,
be. Is
it
English
is.
important?
English is not important, but it is more valued language. Whatever we say, we might admit it or not. But we always tell our students that you can use Hindi, you can use Marathi. The only thing is that you should be able to communicate what you want to say, and you should be able to understand what the guest is saying.
If some child has spoken like communication skills,
Yeah.
are those also worked upon?
यस कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स तो बहुत ज़्यादा हम लोग उस पर काम करते हैं, क्योंकि जो मैंने आपको बोला जिस स्टार्टा से बच्चे आते हैं इनका कम्युनिकेशन इज़ रियली बैड, सो वी रियली वर्क ऑन दैट.
इट्स लिटरली आई थिंक वेरी इंडिविजुअलिस्टिक अप्रोच होता होगा ना.
Yes, yes.
इट नॉट एक पूरा क्लास तो सेम होता ही नहीं कभी भी.
Yes, and working on their personality. मतलब literally we keep a tray where there is a razor, there is one scissor, then there is a shoe polishing kit, and if they come to the college unprepared, we tell them दरवाजे पे ही खड़े हो जाओ और पहले अपने आप को ठीक करो और फिर अंदर घुसो. So that's how we train them.
I mean, I think the first rule of this sector must be you have to be presentable.
Presentable, very
Obviously.
well groomed you have to
Yeah.
be. So this is what we've been doing.
What's the single most common failure you see among young professionals who are being trained?
If they don't shape up,
स्किल गैप है, कैरेक्टर
स्किल गैप भी है. स्किल कैसा है कि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी से जो करिकुलम्स आते हैं दे आर रिडंडेंट, दे डू नॉट अपडेट इट रेगुलरली, वेयर एज दिस इंडस्ट्री इज मूविंग सो फास्ट. We try to incorporate a lot of things besides the curriculum, but still it is we are left behind. So for that, I sometimes feel that the student suffers in that. But there are plenty of students who actually take a good this thing on themselves, their own responsibility, and they work on themselves and they come to the forefront. And I have plenty of examples where I've seen. I'll give you one example. There were 5 boys who came from Jalgaon, a village from Jalgaon, very raw and naive kind of students. When they came, they said, "हमको hotel management करना है." We gave them admission. After 1 month or so, 2 of them left. The 3 boys who stayed are now doing extremely well. One is in Navi Mumbai, one is in Mumbai, and third one I don't know where he is. But whenever they used to come to the college, they used to touch the floor of the college and say कि इस institution ने हमको life दी है, because they were the children of farmers जो suicides commit कर रहे थे and didn't have much to do and no money in their hands. So for them, this is something transformational.
Yeah,
So
life-changing experience.
Yeah, and they definitely worked on themselves.
Right.
So I can't take all the credit to the college. I have to share that they also worked on themselves.
You know, over the years, you must have seen people working under pressure. Obviously, this is
yes.
a pressure-heavy industry. I'm very sure. What have you learned about the human psyche that you know a lot of people don't at your level?
See, there are 2 types of stress, good stress and bad stress.
Right.
So I always tell the students that it is good that you have work rather than not having anything to do. So accept the challenge, keep finding the solutions and keep moving forward. That's what I keep telling everybody.
Okay.
And there is solution to everything. There is no such thing as jiska solution nahi hai. So I keep telling them this.
So let's talk about your PhD. What was that?
My PhD is in hospitality marketing.
ये कब किया आपने?
2016.
Why did you find that need to upgrade yourself?
I am that kind of a person. While I came into the teaching, I realized that I needed to do something as a postgraduate. Then, as a head of the institution, you should have the highest qualification. So I enrolled myself into PhD. And besides doing my PhD, I keep doing small courses where I keep upgrading my knowledge and try to learn things. And I did my neuro-linguistic programming during those times only, understanding that how children react and respond and how we should talk to them. So all these things I keep upgrading myself.
You know, it's actually commendable to be going back to the books at this age.
Yes.
You know, I mean, age is not a factor, but after so many years of gap, of doing proper academics to go back to academics again. It's really difficult.
It was a challenge. I had a small child, I had social life, I had family, I had my job, my home, but I did
What was
manage.
your thesis then?
So my thesis was on basic ideas to improvise the marketings, bringing on to not just plain simple marketing, newer ideas. How can we give them loyalty points? How can we attract them to small events in the company, hotel company, so that they keep in touch with the hotel and they continue to use the facilities.
So a person after so many years of being in the industry, handling so many students, did PhD equip you with some new skills, or you already knew them, it just polished it off?
You definitely learn something. I learned how to organize the data and how to put the data into this analysis and find out things. So I used that information by gathering all kinds of data, and I used to play with the data later. So you always learn something.
Right.
Whatever you do, you learn something.
And what is this aligned living new thing you have started?
Yeah, so 30 years I've been working with young minds which keep wavering from one wavelength to the other wavelength.
You're right.
So somewhere I thought I was good at counseling. So let me try it openly for anyone and everyone who wants to come to me. So during those times, I did my neuro-linguistic programming course, and I just started strategizing how to talk to the students and what tools to use so that they get into the regular module of academics. Then I also understood that the teenagers that we get have lot of muddled emotions inside. So I wanted to resolve those so that they are more free. Actually, sometimes I feel कि इनके दिमाग खोल के मैं उसको रिवायर करके और वापस से बंद करके इनको काम पे लगाऊंगी तो they will be more positive.
That's a superpower if you can do that.
I know.
actually.
I keep thinking like that, but then of course.
So for people who are watching this and who don't understand what NLP is,
Yeah.
थोड़ा सा समझाइए ना.
Neuro-linguistic programming is a program which gives you tools to channelize the patterns that become in our nerves. So in our mind, जैसे हमारी कोई हैबिट होती है, सिंपल हैबिट लाइक टाइंग योर शू लेसेस, बचपन में मम्मी पकड़ पकड़ के सिखाती थी. आज वी डोंट इवन हैव टू थिंक अबाउट इट.
Yeah.
So we try to get you to make habits which will become a pattern and you don't have to think about it. आज हम गाड़ी चलाते हैं तो हम खाना भी खा लेते हैं, साथ में बातें भी कर लेते हैं, म्यूज़िक भी सुन लेते हैं, डांस भी कर लेते हैं. और एक टाइम पे ऐसा था कि हम गाड़ी चलाते थे, अच्छा अब गियर बदलना है, अभी ब्रेक लगानी है. सो ये पैटर्न बन गया है हमारे माइंड में, इसलिए वो पैटर्न ऑटोमेटिकली होता है. तो हम ऑटोमेटिसिटी पे वर्क करते हैं कि कोई भी जैसे इमोशनल रेगुलेशन भी है उसको इतना ऑटोमेट कर दो कि आपके मन से ज़ोर से कुछ निकले ही नहीं आपके मुंह से. तो आप उसको उसी तरह बिहेव करने लगोगे जैसा आपको एक बार पैटर्न सिखा दिया जाएगा.
But ये सिर्फ बच्चों में ही होता है कि एडल्ट्स में भी
नहीं,
होता है?
एडल्ट्स में भी होता है.
Give me an example of
So-
children situation versus an adult situation.
चिल्ड्रन सिचुएशन तो एज आई जस्ट टोल्ड यू कि यंगर चिल्ड्रन में बहुत मडल्ड अप इमोशंस होते हैं. टिल द एज ऑफ 25 दे आर लाइक टीनेजर्स ओनली. उसके बाद थोड़े से मैच्योर होने लगते हैं. तो उनको आज के बच्चे को आप ये बोलो कि ये मत कर या ये कर, तो दे विल नॉट डू इट. You have to show them the choices they have and then choose the choices and then shoulder the responsibility of those choices, which is in the other way around. If you look at a 40-year-old, they know the choices they have but they don't have the guts to take up that choice because probably they think कि इसकी बहुत बड़ी repercussions होंगे तो मैं अभी ये choice नहीं लेता. But then to an adult, I tell them that somewhere, sometime you have to make a decision. And decision making is where we lack. We always think कि मैंने ठीक decision लिया कि नहीं लिया. Decision कोई भी गलत नहीं होता. सब decision अच्छे होते हैं, उसको ठीक हमको ही करना होता है क्योंकि हमने लिया है decision. And उसके लिए बाहर वाले किसी का अप्रूवल या वैलिडेशन नहीं चाहिए है, मेरी अपनी वैलिडेशन चाहिए कि मैं जो भी कर रहा हूँ ठीक कर रहा हूँ. सो दिस यू हैव टू टीच द सीनियर्स.
I want to come to something here कि by and large we have been brought up in a society where we are constantly being judged
Correct.
by people around us.
Correct.
It's very different in other countries. And somehow I don't know why this works कि हमेशा दूसरों को नीचे खींचना ही is what we have
Correct.
seen.
Correct.
How do people overcome that?
Be a doer. अपना काम करते जाओ. मुझे बहुत लोगों ने खींचने की कोशिश करी है. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर देयर नेम्स एंड आई कैन मेक अ लिस्ट ऑफ इट, बट आई केप्ट डूइंग व्हाट आई फेल्ट वाज राइट. सो दिस इज व्हाट आई टेल एवरीवन, बी अ डूअर, कीप डूइंग, डोंट प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट. इट्स ओके. डिसीजन मैंने लिया, गलत हो गया तो भी मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, ठीक हो गया तो भी मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, बट एटलीस्ट वही बोलते हैं ना कि गुड डिसीजन गिव्स यू कॉन्फिडेंस, बट अ बैड डिसीजन गिव्स यू गुड एक्सपीरियंस. सो टेक दैट एक्सपीरियंस एंड मूव एंड कंटिन्यू टू डू समथिंग. यू act every day to everything, small steps, but keep acting. So it will work.
हमारे घर में दो एकदम स्टार्क पर्सनालिटीज है. वन इज माई फादर,
Okay.
वन इज मी. माई फादर इज वेरी वेरी कॉन्शियस ऑफ हिज इमेज.
Okay.
मैं उतना ही बेवकूफ़ हूँ. आई डोंट केयर व्हाट पीपल थिंक अबाउट मी.
Okay.
इट रियली डजंट फेज मी एनी मोर कि
Yes.
आप मेरे बारे में क्या बोलोगे. वो मेरे दिमाग में क्रॉस भी नहीं होता है. एंड माई मॉम इज ऑलवेज अमेज्ड कि इतनी दो स्टार्क पर्सनैलिटीज
चीज़ कैसे
कैसे
हैं?
हो गई. तो
हाँ.
होता है वो.
Yeah, unfortunately, our society is like that they keep judging. But you have to learn to handle that. You have to learn not to let these things overcome your mind, and you have to continue to do what you feel right.
True. You must have seen a lot of high achieving people.
Yes.
What do you think they get wrong in their lives?
They start attaching happiness to that achievement. Happiness is not, you cannot get happiness through just achieving something. Your happiness is an innate quality which you really need to continue to have it, whatever may happen, achieving or not achieving.
I think high achieving people का एक भी problem है because they have never faced failure.
Yes.
When they actually do, they literally shatter down.
Shatter.
And I think that is why.
That's why I'm
आजकल,
saying ना, they attach happiness to achievement. मैं तभी खुश होऊंगा अगर मैं ये अचीव कर लूँगा. वो नहीं होता अचीव तो हैप्पीनेस भी चली जाती है. अचीव हो गया तो बहुत खुश हैं, बट दे डोंट रियलाइज कि वो 2-3 दिन की, 5
बस,
दिन
बस,
की, हफ्ते
that's
की
all.
हैप्पीनेस है, उसके बाद वो ख़त्म हो जाने वाली है.
Right.
सो हैप्पीनेस बीइंग एन इनेट क्वालिटी, इट शुड बी देयर ऑल द टाइम. You do whatever you do in the happy state. So that will always help. Whether it's a failure or a success, you will always be balanced in that.
Right. Let's talk about EQ, anger management,
Okay.
and all those things. एक तो पहले EQ समझा दीजिए कुछ लोगों को प्लीज.
EQ is emotional quotient.
जी.
Emotions are not just वो बोलते हैं ना कि हार्मोन से रिलेटेड हैं हमारी इमोशंस. इमोशंस हमारी वही पैटर्न बन चुका है हमारी इमोशंस का. सो वी नीड टू रेगुलेट देम. सो इमोशनल रेगुलेशन आपकी कम्युनिकेशन में भी चाहिए है, आपकी डेली इंटरेक्शंस विद पीपल ऑल्सो यू नीडेड. सो इमोशनल क्वोशंट डेवलप करना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
आपने एंगर के बारे में एक बहुत अच्छी चीज़ कही है, कंस्ट्रक्टिव एंगर वर्सेस डिस्ट्रक्टिव एंगर. व्हाट कैन बी कंस्ट्रक्टिव अबाउट एंगर? मैं तो यही सोच रहा हूँ.
जब माँ बाप अपने बच्चे को डांटते हैं कि
जी.
तू टाइम पे सोता नहीं है, खाना नहीं खाता टाइम पे, तो ये कंस्ट्रक्टिव एंगर है. बिकॉज दे वांट देम टू डू समथिंग विच इज़
Oh, right.
राइट फॉर देम.
Right.
They don't want to find faults with the child. They want to do it because they want him to have a good life. And destructive anger है जो parents बच्चे को बुरी तरह से डांटते हैं, मार देते हैं. I have one client who had come to me. She said मुझे इतना गुस्सा आ जाता है कि मैं अपने 4 साल के बच्चे को बहुत मारती हूँ. It's so saddening.
तो मार तो सबने खाया है.
नहीं, पर कितना मतलब ट्रॉमा आ जाएगा बच्चे को. Those scars, he will take the entire life to wash off those scars. Why it? So here emotional regulation is something which is required. कि ठीक है, he must have done something to annoy you, but where is your trigger? Find out that trigger and develop a coping mechanism.
Do you think कि पेरेंट्स आप दिन भर का स्ट्रेस कभी कभी
बच्चों पे निकाल देते हैं.
नॉट इंटेंशनली पर
Yeah.
बच्चे ने एक कुछ स्पार्क कर दिया एंड इट जस्ट कम्स आउट? आपको लगता है ऐसा होता है?
होता है. एक्चुअली इसमें भी पेरेंट को अपना ट्रिगर ढूंढना है कि अगर मैं ऑफिस से आया हूँ, मैं थका हुआ हूँ, give myself some time and then start interacting with the child, or you can just tell the child, give me 5 minutes, I'll come back to you, and then make sure that you go back and talk about everything he wants to share. But ऐसे में पहले अपने आप को एक 5 मिनट का टाइम देना. देन दे ऑल्सो से इफ यू एक्सरसाइज रेगुलरली योर इमोशंस स्टे regulated quite well. So why not indulge in exercise और फाइंड आउट द ट्रिगर्स. क्या चीज़ ऐसी होती है जो मुझे एकदम से गुस्सा आ जाता है, उसके ऊपर काम करो.
A lot, but I think it starts with acceptance. बहुत लोग डिनाइल में ही रहते हैं. वो डिनाइल से एक्सपेक्ट वहीं पे आने में बहुत मेहनत लगती
नहीं,
है.
सबसे पहले तो अवेयरनेस कि मुझे गुस्सा आ जाता है.
Right.
तो वो अवेयरनेस नहीं आएगी जब तक, तो तब तक आप अपने पे काम नहीं करोगे. उसके बाद अथॉरिटी कि ओके आई गेट दिस काइंड ऑफ अ क्या बोलेंगे उसको, टेम्परामेंट, सो लेट मी फर्स्ट वर्क ऑन माई सेल्फ and then appreciate your small achievements. That today I had an interaction with child after coming from my office, but I did not scream at him, and I gave myself time. I had some gap between my coming home and my interaction with the child. It will improve. It is again a pattern. You develop that pattern in your mind, and then you will certainly work on that.
I just remembered, usually patients डॉक्टर के सामने ओपन अप हो ही जाते हैं अबाउट थिंग्स कंप्लीटली अनरिलेटेड टू व्हाट दे हैव कम फॉर.
Yes.
A 16-year-old boy broke down in my OPD. He scores good, decent marks, good enough. The parents are also happy, but both parents are working. Both have very hectic lifestyle. And उसका उस दिन रिजल्ट लगाता है. when he came to see me कि चेकअप के लिए आया, मैं बोला where are your parents, why are you not celebrating with them, क्या प्लान है, बाहर जा रहे हो. तो he broke down. He's like कि मेरे जब रिजल्ट्स आए हैं, my parents have never been there. मतलब I wanted them to be
with me,
share that joy with me.
yes.
I understand that they are at work, but sometimes I don't want to understand, and I really
true,
want them.
true.
तो वो इतना conflict ये हो रहा था.
That's a harsh reality of today's time. But I feel if a parent spends quality time whenever they are with the child, and make him understand that it's not that we are not appreciating that you've done well, but our work demands us to be there. So we will come and share, and then spend some quality time appreciating him all the time, and then celebrations. I think that should work.
Definitely.
That should work.
You have also said that make your happiness so infectious,
Yes.
contagious that other people get infected by it.
Yes.
What made you give this statement?
This I tell everybody. तुम खुश रहोगे, everything around you is happy. And वही बात के लोग जज कर रहे हैं या कुछ कर रहे हैं, it will not matter. And when you are happy, automatically people will get attracted to you, and they would also want to be in the state like you are. So you have to develop that happiness quotient where you continue to be in the state. I just said happiness को किसी achievement के साथ link मत करो. So don't link anything with anything. Your happiness is an innate quality, and it should stay that way. And you are happy from within only if you work on yourself. Go inwards, meditate sometime. So when you go inwards, you realize that what all you achieved is really good. So that you should be happy about.
If somebody is struggling to be happy, how do you help them out?
So first, I try to talk them out. What are the reasons? So there could be certain issues that they would be going out with. But then again, I tell them that if you be happy, you act in the space of happiness, you will be able to find out solutions for all the issues that you have. And if you keep a perspective of happiness only, you will be spreading. Happiness is like radiates from you.
Yeah.
So if you radiate happiness, automatically things will start falling in place. I've realized this over the years, that when you're in a happy state, you are manifesting happiness around you. So that always multiplies. It will never go into subtraction. It will always multiply. So that is the state you have to be in to let it multiply automatically. You don't have to do anything, but that's some kind of a natural manifestation that happens, that you continue to be happy and people around you also become happy.
What is the one emotional mistake you see most leaders make in different organizations, people who are in authority level? What is one emotional mistake you think they are making?
One, what I have seen so many times,
Right.
they use anger as a tool to get things done.
Example.
I won't name the person,
Obviously.
but every time shouting and using abusive language, tum ye karo, tum ye karo. I used to feel, why? You can be nice to a person and make them feel important, that this work has to be done by you only, and they will definitely do, and they will do it with happiness. Otherwise they continue to backbite here and there, that this is how the person speaks. So I think anger should not be. और ये हुआ भी ऐसा ही होगा, कभी बहुत साल पहले किसी ने गुस्सा किया होगा और दूसरे ने फटाफट काम कर दिया होगा, तो लगा होगा कि अरे गुस्सा निकालो काम हो जाता है,
Positive
गुस्सा निकालो,
reinforcement हो गया
हाँ,
वो।
तो वो अभी एक पैटर्न बन गया है कि जब भी गुस्सा करोगे तो दूसरा काम करेगा. बट टुडेज जनरेशन इज लाइक दिस, तुम गुस्सा निकालो तो वो बोलेंगे जाओ फिर तुम अपने आप कर लो.
हाँ,
तो
true.
तो बहुत चेंज आ गया
They're
है.
giving it back.
हाँ, यस. तो अभी नहीं वो चलेगा. करेक्ट.
एक इमोशनल मिसमैनेजमेंट पर्सन को क्या क्या कॉस्ट कर सकता है? रिलेशनशिप्स.
सभी कुछ. तुम अपनी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ ख़राब कर लेते हो, तुम अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ ख़राब कर लेते हो. दैट bonding that you should be developing with your family, with your colleagues, that will be missing, because nobody wants to be in touch with somebody who's always enraged. So everything is at stake. So
Eventually, I think people start distancing.
yeah,
themselves
distancing
from you.
themselves. As I said, anger, everybody will say कि इसको तो हर बात में गुस्सा आता है, इससे दूर ही रहो. So emotional regulation is very important.
True, true. Abhi, let's talk about your role at Corridor 7.
Okay.
What are you handling udhar?
So I am head people and culture.
जी.
So I have helped design their policies, certain systems, and we are recruiting people. We are training them. Since hospitality is a high attrition sector, so attrition is high, we continue to engage them in various activities so that they are happy here. So we give them, again, we give them some emotional lessons also. We give them some physiological lessons on how their psychology will change if their physiology changes. And we give them sessions on basic trainings on the coffee craft. That's all. That's it.
I never thought about it, but it's true. It must be a very high attrition industry, है ना?
It is a high attrition
बराबर.
industry.
So people must be coming up, taking a role, using it as a reference to grow further. वो होता ही
True,
होगा.
that everybody does.
Yeah,
That everybody
true.
does.
But now since you've been involved in the FNB scene Nagpur ka, and I think that is at the highest level with Mithilesh.
Yes.
We were in the same school, same class actually.
Oh, okay.
So, what is the Nagpur's FNB scene looking like to you? बहुत crowded हो गया है, क्या है?
Crowded. See, hotels are not crowded. Hotels still have a very old-fashioned approach to the F&B. But yes, cafes have changed the entire culture. If you look at cafes these days, it's a casual service. Nobody wants a formal service in a cafe. The youngsters are involved in cafes and they bring a lot of energy to that place. And the youngsters now go in the cafes also for a vibe. The music, the vibe, the culture. You will see a lot of cafes closing also because they're unable to maintain that culture. So with Mithilesh, he's been really into maintaining that kind of culture in Corridor 7. So I think that works very well for Corridor.
You know, I still remember कि बाहर जाना used to be a ritual पहले.
Correct.
कि संडे आया है चलो सब खाना खाने जाते हैं. That too not every Sunday.
Yes.
It used to be once a month or twice a month.
True.
And weekdays में आप किसी होटल में जाते थे, it used to be a barren scene, कोई नहीं होता था.
Correct. Correct.
And now even on a Mondays you will find most restaurants
Are
at
occupied,
capacity.
yes.
So what is happening?
Eating out has become a trend.
Right.
People don't want to eat at their homes. ladies don't want to cook because men are not contributing to the cooking scene, so they don't want to cook. Uh,
I beg to differ. I am not allowed to cook
okay.
by my wife. She's like, आप इतना गंदा करते हो, दिन बाद में मेरे को साफ करना
No, but I allow my husband and he cooks really well.
I'm not allowed to cook.
In fact, during COVID, I told him कि अभी तुम घर में हो ना, तुम खाना बनाओ. तो and I think it's a I always say पेट है ना तो खाना है,
Yeah.
सबको खाना है, तुम भी बना सकते हैं, हम भी बना सकते
So
हैं.
my mom very early मुझे बेसिक कुकर लगाना है and all मुझे
हाँ,
लगा
correct,
दिया,
correct.
सीख गया था. And शादी के बाद श्वेता ट्रेन मी की बेसिक चीजें and then I refined the art myself.
Good.
But my problem is I'm very haphazard at but मैं सब गंदगी करता हूँ and I don't clean them after. That's the only reason I'm not allowed to cook.
That's why India has maids.
Yeah, true. Right.
Yes.
You also help design national hospitality curriculum.
Yes.
What is that? How did you get that opportunity?
I was chairman board of studies in Kavi Kulguru Kalidas Sanskrit University. So for 6 years. So during that time NEP came. So
वो इसमें भी आता है NEP.
हाँ.
Oh, okay.
NEP का structure आया था हमें government से. So we designed the curriculum accordingly. So the latest curriculum that is going on has been designed by me in the university.
So what do you think people are still getting wrong about hospitality training? कि वो आपने किंग्स हटा दिए सब.
नहीं, मुझे लगता है गवर्नमेंट का इंटरवेंशन थोड़ा सा कम होना चाहिए एजुकेशन में, बिकॉज दे ट्राई टू ट्रीट हॉस्पिटैलिटी एज एन इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज विच इज़ नॉट.
I don't think that's correct.
That's not correct. So what is happening is we are trying to fit in the engineering norms to set the hospitality college and set the curriculum.
True.
So which is where we are having a lot of problem. Hospitality is a entirely different situation, and I also feel hotel industry should have an integrated program with the colleges. That will be a very successful model.
Did you ever think what you were doing? Did you ever question your decisions कि मैं क्या सही कर रही हूँ कि नहीं? In whatever growth you have achieved over the years, self doubt कभी आया है?
This is something I've never experienced.
Never.
I do whatever I do with conviction, and I continue to make my own decisions and continue to move ahead. I don't look back. I don't regret anything. I do what I feel is right.
What are you building next that it's more exciting for you?
I want to build my life coach business very well. I want to reach out to as many as possible. Because I see, as I said, मेरा दिल करता है कि इनका दिमाग खोल के उसको बिल्कुल rewire कर दूँ. So I really feel that it is much needed at the moment, and I want to do much more in that side.
But do you think कि too much exposure to technology and internet and too much of knowledge at a very early age is causing a lot of issues?
True. But actually, I take a session for the school teachers. I always tell them कि information उनको बहुत अच्छी आती है, वो तुम नहीं दोगे AI दे देगा
हाँ,
उनको.
मिल जाएगा.
तो उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. तुमको उनका कोच बनना है, तुमको उनका मेंटर या टीचर नहीं बनना है.
Right.
You have to teach them that how to apply this information in your regular life and what will reap what kind of results, and get them to be aware of it. Rest decision is theirs.
Right. But जैसे again as an ophthalmologist we tell the parents कि बच्चों को screen से दूर रखो. The number keeps on increasing at a very fast rate.
Correct.
But also I say कि आप कितना भी YouTube for kids दो ये को very early age में they get exposed to a lot of unwanted material at a very early age, and then
Yes.
the mind goes for a toss.
Correct.
Pornographic addiction is a known problem.
Correct.
तो इसको क्या I mean I don't understand कैसे करना है इसको. Again also फिर Instagram देखते हैं, Snapchat देखते हैं, they see their peers doing something else, फिर वो FOMO आता है.
Correct.
How are they supposed to deal with all this?
So gradually we have to teach them that everything that social media is showing is not true. Then you have to teach them that you have to regulate the timings in which you will see the social media. I also tell the teachers कि उनको assignments ऐसे दो और खुद ही बोलो कि ये AI से ढूंढ के लाओ. When they bring it, then you discuss it with them. That this is what AI is saying. AI is not always correct.
No, that's not.
So you discuss it, you give them information. But the sad part is the teacher will have to study a lot before getting to that
Right.
kind of teaching module. So our teachers need to equip themselves more.
Do you think teachers need to upgrade themselves, or a lot of teachers haven't upgraded themselves as times have changed?
Teachers need to upgrade themselves on regular basis because a child is learning everything from here and there. How do you match their input of content with your input of realizations and valid answers to those?
You have a mental framework. If you could do one thing today, what would it be?
One could thing that I could do. One, I told you, open the brains. Two, I would try to reach out to as many as possible and tell them that life is not so difficult. You are here to enjoy the times and not take it seriously. This is what I would want to tell. So many suicides and all those things are happening. It pains me to see this.
Again, मैं भी थोड़ा सा पॉजिटिविटी देते रहता हूँ मेरे पेज.
Yes, definitely.
So one 10th standard student did not score as much as he wanted to, and he wants to prepare for NEET. And he's like, मैं कैसे करूँगा, 10th में ही नहीं स्कोर पाया तो 12th में कैसे करूँगा. Well, if you look back on your failures and brood on them, तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. You have to do better than what you did that.
Yes.
That's all you have to aim for. धीरे धीरे हो जाएगा सब.
But what is happening is, unfortunately, parents put a lot of pressure.
वो तो हो रहा है.
Lot of competition. देख उसके इतने आगे तेरे इतने आगे. This is something parents have to realize what is important, the child or the mark sheet. So once they start realizing this, automatically things will improve.
True. How do you help? Do you use a framework when a student or a client is just stuck? मुझे नहीं समझ रहा है मैं क्या हो रहा है. How do you help them out?
One I tell them is, give yourself time. I leave them for a few days and then I call them back again and I start all over again showing them their possibilities and then asking them to choose the best possibility little at a time, and I tell them to give yourself time. There's no rush in this world. You should not be rushing to be something as early as possible. You can just take your own time, be sorted first and then move ahead.
I remember this quote from a book that time also needs time
Yes.
to heal.
Yes.
It's very beautiful.
Yes.
You also teach developing your own quotient.
Yes.
What is that?
I designed one program for college goers in which I talk about quotients. It's about intelligence quotient, it's about emotional, physical, then religious, spiritual, all these quotients I talk about. There are 10 quotients that I talk about. And it covers mostly all the personality aspects of a person. And I have seen that students really connect with this very well. In one of the college, I won't name the college, in one of the college, the students got so deep into it that they wanted a private hearing with me. They wanted to ask so many questions. They were like, हमारे साथ ही ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? So many things. It was about procrastination, it was about overthinking, it was about loneliness, parental issues, so many things they could talk of. So I think that program has really hit very well. And now Times of India has asked me to redesign that for school students.
Why don't you write a book on it?
Good idea. I will keep that in mind.
It's very easy. I can help you. मतलब you can just talk to an AI.
Okay.
वो chapters में divide कर देगा.
Okay.
It will just write a brief context.
Okay.
Then you can just tell it कि नहीं ये बराबर नहीं ये बराबर नहीं ये बराबर नहीं.
Okay.
And then redefine it. And then you put it on something called as KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing.
Okay.
On Amazon. वो खुद ही कर देंगे then.
Acha.
You don't have to sit and write anymore.
Oh, wow.
It's very good.
Okay. I was thinking, actually, I do write quite a bit. I've started, I've written a lot of things, but I was not putting it anywhere. Now I've started putting on blogs. So just started actually. So I was thinking, my daughter told me कि आज की डेट में कोई इतना नहीं पढ़ता है. I said मत पढ़े.
पढ़ते हैं, but you know you have to blogs. I used to write a lot. I had a blog page. I stopped it 10 years back. So I realized कि blogs सिर्फ 2 minute या 3 minute reads वाले ही लोग पढ़ेंगे. So you have to design a blog in such a way कि वो सिर्फ 2-3 minutes का ही read हो.
250-300 words तो पढ़े जाते हैं.
नहीं हो रहा है आजकल.
नहीं हो रहा है.
That is the problem.
Because attention span बहुत
It's
छोटा
gone
हो
down
गया है.
बहुत
Yes, correct.
How does the future of hospitality industry look like in India? Future.
Oh, great. It will grow.
It will grow.
Because you just said that people are moving out to restaurants and hotels every day, even on the weekdays. So it is definitely bound to grow.
Yeah.
And Indians have just realized that if you throw a little bit of money, you get all the luxuries you want. So they will definitely.
If some young girl is inspired by what you have done over so many years, and she wants to do what you have done, build a personal brand, literally take an institution from ground up to a good point, do meaningful work, what is the first thing you will tell her?
Believe in yourself and keep doing what you're doing. Bas.
अच्छा है. So before I let you go, I want to ask you a few rapid fire questions. फिर मैं आपको free कर दूंगा.
ठीक है.
The best meal you have ever had?
Cooked by my mom.
Ah. Is she?
She's not alive, but she was a very good cook.
What was the best dish that you loved about her?
She used to make tomato paneer.
Oh.
It's yum.
One book that has changed how you think?
Atomic Habits by James
Oh,
Clear.
that's amazing book. I know.
Yeah.
There's another one, the 5 a.m. Club. I love that book.
Okay, I haven't read
I'll
that.
give you that.
Yeah, please do.
The most overrated thing in hospitality?
Atithi Devo Bhava.
हाँ, पर यही तो हम I thought यही होता होगा.
हाँ, but आजकल अतिथि देवो भव का मतलब बदल गया है. You have to manage them.
हाँ.
So they are not those kinds जो बहुत अच्छे से आके बैठेंगे. They have so much of expectations. So you have to manage those expectations.
I just remembered something. So when we go on vacations, usually nowadays vacations are not much of traveling. We go to a good property and just
Stay.
Enjoy the property. So what we used to do, 3-4 friends and our wives and families, we go. हम जाते टाइम पे you leave a good amount of staff tip for thank you for
Correct.
all the services you have done. So one of my friends in hospitality industry said कि you know what you're going to pay as a tip when you're leaving. वही amount आप check in के time दे दो and suddenly you see the behavior
change. Yes.
It's a very small thing.
But unfortunately, there are people opposite to you who will throw their weight around कि हमने पैसा खर्चा ना, now we've purchased you as our servants, and that's where hospitality कहाँ रह गई फिर?
That's just wrong.
Because they are doing their job, but from their heart they are not happy with you. So that is something, because the
You're not my
rich
servant.
Yes, the novio rich nowadays do this only कि मैं तो खर्च रहा हूँ ना पैसे, तो I have purchased you also with the property.
One quality that every great leader has.
They interact a lot and keep themselves updated.
Nice. So thank you for being here. बहुत मजा आया. Any closing
Same here.
thoughts?
Don't let your mind mingle with your heart. Train your mind before it goes haywire. So I always used to tell my daughter, मन को कंट्रोल करो, मन को तुम्हें कंट्रोल मत करने दो. So to everyone I say,
I learned this the
control
hard
your
way.
mind. हाँ, control your mind before it starts controlling you.
I've learned this the most difficult way possible. I have made so many series of bad decisions in my life. Usually, and I came out of it. That's fine. And मैं तो छुपाता भी नहीं ये सब चीजें. My life has been a one roller coaster because. But then I realized that I needed to go through that process to come to this where I am. I'm very calm now. नहीं तो मैं पहले बहुत agitated हो जाता था.
Okay.
किसी भी चीज पे. I'm very calm now. I've learned meditation and a little bit of
So as I said,
Yeah.
good decisions give you confidence, and
Yeah.
bad decisions give you
Gives
good
yeah,
experience.
I've
So-
been the experience part of it.
Yes. So अच्छा है ना, वो experience has shaped you so beautifully.
Yeah.
So you should be thankful to those experiences.
Very much. I never regret the कि ऐसा क्यों हुआ क्या हुआ. So nice. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
कुछ बोल रहे थे आप?
मैं ये बोल रही थी कि gratitude journal सबको लिखना चाहिए. It really helps.
Hmm.
It makes you look at life so nicely and with a clear vision that you start appreciating all you have.
A lot of people don't have the skill to pen down. वो भी देखा है मैंने.
ऐसा कुछ उसमें पेन नहीं करना.
I know कि what are you grateful for today? 3 चीजें लिख दो.
I write, I am grateful for the home help that I get every day, because of them I am able to leave home in time for office. I can get my food in time, so that is also something to be grateful for. Then I thank my car. I thank my cleaner for the car. So you don't have to be thanking for bigger things. You
हाँ.
should be thanking for smaller things.
Happiness is in the smaller things. वही
Yes,
है.
yes.
True, true.
If my car wala doesn't come look at the car in the morning and it's so dirty, I don't want to sit in that car. So I know that he's come, he's cleaned, he's kept it really nice. So all these things we should be grateful for, because we forget that all these things make us.
Yeah.
Are the entire day is shaped with all this.
Hmm.
So
Happiness is in the small things actually.
Yes.
सही बात है. True. Again, thank you so much.
pleasure.
मजा आया.
Thank you so much for calling me.